Hi everyone, and welcome to another Tribe Forex Power Hour. This is Marcello here, and today's March 25th, 2014. I'm going to do today what I have done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our biases. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. And also, I will go ahead and represent some of the trades that we've had in the past and how they've been doing it based upon those biases. So let's go ahead and get started. So how does this work? What's our formula for success? One, as I said before, we find biases. Now, what is the bias? It's the most important thing that you have to find if you are going to be a consistently profitable trader. You need to find the probability of price moving in one direction or the other, okay, before you begin to take trades on that particular day. So we look at the higher time frames. We determine what the bias of the market is, meaning if we have a buy bias, that means that there's a greater probability of a maximum favorable excursion in the buy direction, meaning that price is going to go up on that pair, and vice versa for a sell. Very simple. Now, how do we execute a bias? We have two ways. We can either take a set and forget it trade, which means that we set our entry, our stop loss, our take profit. We never look at it again until the next day. Or two, we can day trade in the direction of our bias using our pods, which are points of decision for bigger profits. If you don't know what points of decision are, that's not a problem. We actually have a course inside the website, tribeforex.com, that you can go to, and you can learn all about pods and learn how we trade the way that we trade. Okay? So having said that, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts because we don't have an awful lot of time here today. So let's start with, I'm going to start with the pound dollar actually. So pound dollar actually moved back into the channel here. We were calling consolidation bias on basically all of our peers. And you can see here that price went up to the 50 EMA and actually is pulled back. And that's basically where we're at again. So we're looking for a price to hit the 50 EMA. We're still in the constraints of those highs and lows of the last few bars. So we are calling consolidation again. We're looking for a bounce down. We're looking for a sell, a bounce down off of 165.50. Okay, so basically 165.50, where the 50 EMA is for the pound dollar, will be our bouncing point. We're looking for a sell. All right, euro dollar 4 hour. Let's take a look at the daily, actually. So that's what we'll want to take a look at. All right, so here, guys, basically you have this massive, we had this sell bias. We had a sell bias from the euro dollar. Price did move down because we were in consolidation. We were at the top of the consolidation. We were looking for a sell. We did get a sell off. Price moved all the way down to 137.50 where we thought it would, and it actually went back up. So you really had 2 days of movement in that one day. So we pushed down and then we bounced off of it and pushed right back up. Now that call on the day, it really doesn't say anything. Now somebody else could take a look at this and say, okay, that shows us that the market really wants to move up. Well, that doesn't show us that the market wants to move up, not from where we're standing. We're still in consolidation. It shows us that the market's still in consolidation. We're still within these bars, and for that reason, we're at the top of that channel. We think that price can move back up into that channel at about 38.50, and then we're going to look to see price drop. Okay, so we're going to look for a sell bias from the euro dollar for the time being. Dollar Swiss, same thing. We're still in consolidation. We haven't moved anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, or everything's within each other. So we're going to call consolidation on that. It's kind of in the middle of that channel, though, so that makes it more difficult. We can see a buy if price bounces off of about, I would say, about 187.95, 187.90 in that area, and we can see a price begin to move up on the dollar Swiss. So it's all consolidation bias, basically. Here on the pound dollar, as I said, it was a sell. New Zealand actually had a very strong move to the upside. So we're looking for a sell on the New Zealand dollar. Didn't get that sell on the New Zealand dollar, but what it's done is it's shown us that it is absolutely acknowledging this area of support and resistance here on this New Zealand. So we've got a trend line right here, and we're going to be still looking for a sell off of this trend line, and we're going to look for price to move down off of this in the New Zealand. Like even though price has, we did have a massive move on the day, considering relative to what the New Zealand dollar usually puts out, we are still well within that consolidation zone. Furthermore, guys, we have more of a solid sell than a buy here. If you look at the weekly, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, I need another New Zealand chart, because this chart is just, it's got too much on it right now. Okay. All right, so if we look at the weekly, what we'll see is that we had really a beautiful hammer formation that came right off of areas of support and resistance, which would have been that trend line that I just showed you. And for that reason, we're going to call a sell, and we do have more of a sell bias even though price is moving up. Okay. Aussie dollar is a completely different ball game here, though. We have had strong movement to the upside. We are sitting at a very strong area of support and resistance. This Bollinger, for instance, you know, right now I've got a Bollinger 1 deviation. If I put a 2 deviation on, I'm sure that we're going to find it to be right over that area where we're at, and also we've got support resistance in that area. So I'm not going to call anything on the Aussie dollar today. I think that it has a potential, even though we've had strong buy movement, if you will. I think it still has a potential to sell off here from where it is. Okay, so I'm not going to call anything there. Yesterday, guys, we called a sell on the dollar CAD, and the dollar CAD absolutely did sell, did very well there. I think that we can see price come and bounce off of, really test this trend line here at 1.1139, and most likely see a push back up on the dollar CAD if this is to be used as an area of support. Before it was resistance, as we had seen on numerous occasions, and now we're looking for that to be support, so we're going to look for a bounce off of 1.1140. Okay, Euro Yen, we had a sell, guys, because we are in consolidation, and that's what happened. Sold all the way down to the 50 EMA and then bounced back up. Same thing that we saw in the Euro Dollar. What are we going to do here? Well, at the top of that, we're in consolidation. We're going to have a consolidation bias. At the top of this channel, we're going to look for a sell, and at the bottom, we're going to look for a buy, and that is simple. As simple as it gets. We still have consolidation on the dollar yen as well. It's just kind of bouncing around in this very narrow range, and for that reason I just don't want to touch it right now. So that's not my top recommendation. I wouldn't recommend that particular pair to play with just because of consolidation. It's so tight there for now. And the same thing, guys, we've seen on the pound yen. The pound yen still in consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars here in consolidation. And it's just a sideways consolidation. No, we're not seeing a pennant. We're not seeing anything else. We're not seeing a constriction in price. We're just seeing a restraint in price, meaning that it's staying at its highs and lows. And so if we're close to the high there, we can see a bounce off the 50 EMA and see 169.40 take us right back down to 168.00. Okay, and I think that will pretty much do it for us. We could talk about oil, but it's the same thing, consolidation for the time being. I do think it's kind of bouncing off the 50 EMA, and it's below that, but it's also using 200 EMA as support, so I'm not going to call that either because it's not very clear cut. And I think that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. Well, with that, I look forward to seeing you guys in our next session. So if I can wrap this up really quickly, if anything I said made any sense whatsoever, we're in consolidation. We're going to look for a sell off the 50 EMA for the pound dollar. We're going to look for a sell on the euro dollar. Dollar Swiss would be a buy, but it needs to get lower down to areas of support. New Zealand, we're still looking for a sell right where we are at this trend line. This is actually a very good place to sell off of. Aussie dollar, we're not going to touch it for now because we do think that there can be a sell off these areas of support or resistance, I should say, at the top here, the 80 Bollinger Band that we're using as support resistance, and also just in this area, they're going years back, we have significant support resistance at that very area, which is the high of this channel. 9160 is actually a very good place for us to look for support there and resistance. Dollar CAD, we're going to look for a bounce. It's got to drop a little bit. 111.40 is where we're going to look for a bounce, and then we're going to see price move up on the dollar CAD. And as I said before, euro yen, we're going to look for a sell potentially off of 141.64. Dollar yen, we're not touching it. It's too narrow of a constriction there. And on the pound yen, we can look for a price to move off of 169.00 or 169.40. get down to 16500 there, or 168. Okay, and with that, guys, I look forward to seeing you in our next session. Let's try to get some good pips. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.